Hello, everybody. It's your Wonderful Wind Maid, your Cruz Ship Servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service. Welcome to episode 1 and stream 1 of the new series that I am starting. It is a new road-wide, well, I say new, it is a road-wide deck builder that I've had in my Steam inventory for the longest time, ever since I saw, I'm pretty sure, Total Biscuit and Northern Lion play it all the way back then, but I never actually played the endgame content for. I quote on the Steam page. It released 2019. I don't know if TB was actually around then. I just remember seeing so much of NO's and Let's Try, and then TV's WTF is this series. I feel like I can compound all of them together. But this was a wonderful, wonderful road ride that released by the dev and publisher Terry Cavan, if I remember exactly. I'm pretty sure he was also the maker of VVVVV 6Vs, and it is a road ride deck builder centered around you working with dice. And well, instead of cards, you're working with dice. Instead of cards, you're working with equipment, whatever, stuff like that. It's a lot easier to explain once you actually get to see everything going on. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and get things started. But this will be a new, hopefully daily-ish series. There's stuff that I'll be posting around, kind of like Lost Branch of Legend, on clips, and just runs that I do, because there is a lot of content. So, let us not stall. We are going to play through with the first character in the game, the Warrior. The whole premise of Dicey Dungeons is that each of your characters have been people turned into anthropomorphic dice, looking to win their heart's content. So for the Warrior, he was looking for something. He was looking to become stronger, I believe, and also I think money. So we'll just start with the standard rules and let's walk through him. Hi, Calvin. I'm not reading through all of that. Thank you for joining me for another round of Dicey Dungeons, says the Game Show's host, Lady Luck. Tonight, let's give a big round of truly mocking laughter for our miserable contestant, the Warrior. The way that Dicey Dungeons works is that each run is comprised of 6 floors, as you can denote, by the scrolls at the bottom right of the screen. So you can see only one scroll is folded. It is for 1 of 6. You are looking to get to the exit trapdoor, pictured at the very bottom, so all the time you can see it right there, while fighting through whatever enemies are on the way. Each enemy has a level, and they give you stars to level up, or experience. So if I want to level up, because I'm level 1, I need to beat both these guys. So let's start with the slime, and figure out how combat works from there. So, at the start of each turn, you will get 2 dice, and this will go up with your level, and you have 2 options, at least for the Warrior to start. You have a sword, which deals an amount of damage equal to your die face, so my 6 would deal 6, my 4 would deal 4. Or I have the Warrior ability called Combat Roll, where I can reroll any of my dice up to 3 times, and try to get a different value. I can only use my equipment once each turn, so for that sword I could only use it once, so since I already had a 6, that's the best thing I can ask for. And so, if I have anything else less, I can just keep using my combat rolls and hope for something better. No 6s, but I can get a 5 on the slime. And whenever I end my turn, everything refreshes. I get 2 new dice, all of my equipment refreshes, and we go on from there. Now, play goes until either of us are defeated with no HP each. The slime here has been adding poison, which works like every single poison in any other RPG ever. You just lose life when it's the beginning of your turn, so because of that, I was able to just slowly wear him down. But as you can see here, I get experience and money for defeating him. I also get this chest, which will contain a new piece of equipment, Toxic Ooze. Do X amount of damage, but on a 6, add 2 poison to the enemy. So now I'll have Sword, Toxic Ooze, and my combat roll, because I am playing the Warrior. And so now, I need to beat up this Magician. So you can see here now, I can actually use both of my dice in a single turn. I'm going to keep re-rolling until I get higher values, hopefully. Nothing high enough, no 6, so I'll just hit the Magician twice over. I was just trying to see if I could get the 6 to work. But each character will have their own special abilities, their own equipment, that we can always chat at the beginning of each combat, which I should start doing for you now. But the main thing with it is that anytime I'm taking damage, I'll also be building up this limit break, as you saw at the beginning of combat. Fury, double nets action, so I could hit for 8 damage instead of 4, for instance. which can come into play in 2 later fights when I'm at riskier territory. But the main thing here is that I was able to beat the Magician, and when I level up, I get 3 main benefits. First and foremost, I get extra maximum health, my health is fully refilled, and I get a extra class special benefit. So for the warrior, I get an extra dice. So now I'm up to 3 per turn. So now we are on to level 2 here in this lava-filled lake, and you can see we've got 3 enemies. The Stereo Head, Baby Slime, and a Squid. Sorry, Baby Squid, and Sneezy the Porcupine. There's still the trapdoor at the end there. We have a treasure chest to open up, along with a shop as well, and also an apple, which we can get in between combats for health. For now, though, we'll go ahead and fight Sneezy. So, taking a look at what Sneezy does, he has 3 dice, and he has countdown equipment. What these are is that these say sits. It does not mean you need a sits on your dice. It means that whenever you put a dice into them, they count down by that much. So if you put a sits into it, it counts down to 0, and it activates its effect, meaning he'll deal 3 damage to me. If he puts a 1 in, it counts down from sits to 5, because that's a 1 you're putting in. But it doesn't activate its effect. So for him, he wants to roll doubles, to hopefully double sitses, so he can deal 12 damage in his best case. For now, though, I want to demonstrate Fury, because I have a sits, so I can do this twice and apply 4 poison to this poor man. Poor porcupine, rather. Otherwise, I'll keep combat rolling, and we'll get him in next turn. The main thing here is that your limit break, you don't mind using a 2 Orberoy, honestly, because you get the limit break whenever you lose HP. You can see here at the bottom, ready in 9 HP, meaning that I have to lose 9 HP for me to get charges to it. That's one of the only ways, besides certain other pieces of equipment, possibly, that you can charge a limit break. So, because of that, it's very crucial to just, so don't save it if you don't need to. Go ahead and spend, and spend away, and make sure that you can actually get away with whatever you're doing. Bump. Dice value +1. I still have equipment slots here, which is nice, and as Bump suggests, it will just immediately bump up the face of a die once. So, if I have a 4, it goes to a 5. If I have a 5, it goes to a 6, anything like that. Interestingly, to demonstrate for the audience, if I have a 6, it can't bump to a 7, so it would bump me to an additional 1. A very interesting and cool reaction that can pay off on certain characters, which you might see in the future. Stereo Head here has 2 dice and 2 equipment. His equipment has a maximum value of 4, meaning if he rolls 5 or 6 on any of his 2 die, as you saw in his previous turn with the 6, he is unable to use it. So, he wants to roll low. He'll deal X amount of damage and weaken me. That means any one piece of my equipment will be weaker now. So instead of dealing 2 poison on a 6, it only deals 1 for my Tatsit Ooze. Unfortunate. Not the biggest loss in the world, but that still can be impactful. Didn't get anything high, so I'll just go ahead and hit you just for 6 in total this turn. And he rolled high again, meaning that we lucked out pretty well, all things considered. 4, 5, that's another 5. So I'll make that a 6. And you will just die anyway. I didn't even need the 6 poison. But it's just good to keep doing that. So, leveled up again, and now I can choose a new reward. Spite Sealed. On an even, I can deal 5 damage, a maximum 5. I can deal a maximum 4 damage. On an odd, I can gain a maximum of 5 shield. It's either that or Boomerang. Deal double damage to an enemy, but that much damage to myself. I think I'll take Boomerang, crucially, because it's a small equipment slot. Yes, the size of the equipment itself does matter, since I can only have up to 3 big equipments or 6 small ones at a time. So I'd rather make use of my inventory space for now. Hello, baby squid. You have 2 dice, 26 HP, and you do 2 things. Even rolls that let you deal damage, X amount of whatever you rolled, and odd would blind my dice, meaning I don't actually get to see the value of it at all. So I will do something like this. Pretty good rolls, all things considered. I will deal 12 to you, baby squid, but 6 to myself. No big deal. That actually does charge my own fury, funny enough, which means I could maybe make something work off of that in later rounds, in case I need to charge it up. But for now, you just die anyway. Not bad of a combat. Yeah, the story of the game is all of the enemies here are waiting what's minions, and ventured into the Dicey dungeons for something that they wanted themselves. And well, they may or may not be working may or may not be working the best wives. I can get a broadsword for any damage +2, which is already better than my sword. Now I have 5 gold. I could take Claw to deal damage and add a poison. But I think I'll take a broadsword instead, and replace my sword with it. So now we go to the next floor, and we have more enemies and everything, of course. We have an anvil, which means we can upgrade one of our equipment pieces. And of course, just more apples to eat from, a new chest to get, a new shop to get. So, let's look at this wizard right here. This wizard does a different effect depending on whatever die he rolls, since he only starts with 1. But he has wildly different damaging effects otherwise. So let's just, of course, in good faith and fashion, reroll our lower value dies. Add 2 poison to this man. 8 to enemy with 4 to myself. I don't mind that, quite frankly. And 3 over with my 1 ain't bad at all. You rolled a 2, which is going to deal 5 damage and burn 2 of my dice. Burn is our new status effect, to where it sets 2 dice on fire. If I want to pick up and use these dice, it's going to cost me 2 HP to use. Which, of course, is very unfortunate. But I can either circumvent the burn by not using the dice, or if I can do something like double up my dice this way so I don't ever have to use it. Smile. What a creative way. That bump gave me 2 dice to work with instead of just 1, unless I wanted to burn myself. Not bad of a combat at all. So we'll heal up, and we'll see what's in the chest. Do 3 times 5 damage at maximum, once per battle. But that is only once per battle. The broadsword's already nice. I could also just go big or go home with everything, and quite frankly, I kind of want to try that and have some fun. Let's fight the haunted jars so we can gain access to the shop next and see how things go. So I already got a 5, so quite frankly, I could literally just Fury to double up and deal 30 damage to him, and then you die. Oh, that's stupid and ridiculous, and that's funny. I receive an extra dice, pretty nice. And let's see what I get. I could get another boomerang, I could get a matchstick, but I don't really need that stuff. Or a shield. This shop sucks. I'm just going to fight the Yeti. The Yeti is weak to fire, but I have no fire attacks. Oh, hit. 15 damage. See if I roll a 6. Ooh, 6. Nice. So you are dead next turn, sir. So he deals damage on odds, and also causes freeze on my die. You'll quickly see here, whenever you get frozen, that means all your dice get turned into 1s. Which really sucks, but unfortunately for him, I'm the warrior, so combat roll kind of negates his entire damage. Another characters that can be way detrimental though, of course. I'll take this health, and this anvil lets us upgrade anything potentially here. So, I could make crystal swords smaller, for instance. Or I could also upgrade a few other things here. I think what I want to do, unironically, is make crystal swords smaller. It's still once per battle, but that does mean I can fit in boomerang or bump alongside it. Quite frankly, I think I'll take boomerang. How many of these do I need for the full song? It would technically be 3, because there is 3 verses to it, and it should be English or Japanese, because I know both sides of it. Smile. How you doing tonight, Amy? Or, there's 4 A's. I was about to say 3 A's. I don't know how exactly you'd want me to say your name, considering online to offline. Alright, might as well attack the bully first, because he's in the way of the extra HP. Ah. A. A. It's okay, most people just say Amy. I know. I'm just having some fun. But, what's his face? The main thing with it is, for my redeem right there, Hitori Omuwa, is, if I remember correctly, when I put it out there, let me check the actual thing itself. Each successive redeem is an additional verse. Yeah, there's 3 verses to it, and, well, I can do English or Japanese with it. I'd probably want to turn down the stream volume for that a little bit, though, or like the game volume, but I don't think I can actually retreat. So maybe let me finish this battle first, and then I'll get to singing along with that, so I can actually sing without the backing jazz music. Because even though the jazz music's of course great, I don't think it's that fitting here. Let me just almost destroy this boy's whole career. Whichever language you're in the mood for. It's been forever since I've sung Lost in Thoughts All Alone, in all honesty. My singing voice would be way better, but then again, I need to practice that for when I do cosplay Shidori again, and get to actually sing it in cosplay. But thank you! Thank you for the love on that. You respect the acapella? Look, one thing that I will say that I find so funny all the time with a lot of my friends online is that we're streamers. We're virtual guys and girls online, and yet a lot of people hate their voices. If I streamed every day, just about, and I had to hear myself back in my VODs or in my YouTube videos, I would be like, ew. And I hated my voice and was like, ew, I hate it here. I would lose a lot of self-confidence. I'm pretty happy with myself, and I'm pretty happy with myself and pretty confident in how I sound. And well, I think that feeds back into, yeah, I can pop off on this king. Now, that's not to disparage on anybody who does suffer from crippling self-anxiety about their own voice and how they project themselves out there. I just feel like I'm a little bit narcissistic on that end, with being like, yeah, I'm built different, I can do this. But really though, love yourself, people. You might have a lot more talent than you may be giving yourself, and at least for me, I feel like I can at least confidently sing out an acapella here, because that's why I put the redeem. Not to embarrass myself, but because I feel confident in that song. I should feel a lot more confident in that song, but I'm also pretty rusty on it still. Oh, upgrade equipment. I can get staff, which is a countdown ability. I hadn't been talking over what those combats were, but that's just because I DPS checked everybody. I can trade this staff for my shovel at the shop, but quite frankly, I'm pretty happy with the 4 pieces of equipment that I have here, so I'll go on with that. I never got to ask, by the way. Hope you're doing well too, yourself, Amy. Hopefully the weather's not keeping you down too much, honestly, here. So we are on floor 5, the last floor for the boss here. So I'm looking at 4 enemies to fight, and they're all blocking things I'd want to get to, such as the upgrade. But I have to fight the skeleton here no matter what, so let's get through it. All good here? Good. There isn't too much snow bad conditions in my area, so I'm pretty happy to say I think I'll be able to finish this stream without a hitch or any problems. But if I crash at any time, well, you already know the reason then. Alright, this skeleton has 3 dice. He can deal up to 12 damage here all the time, or he can curse me if he rolls a 2, which we'll get into if he does. I thought the snow would hurt the city way worse. You shouldn't say that before tomorrow. Yeah! Now, the only thing I will say that I've already been seeing a lot of course, is just you know, people being really stupid when it comes to, driving. I've already seen lots of reports of traffic accidents in ways, and it's like, goodness. I mean, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, and I wouldn't be going out on Wednesday like we usually would, but, that's just kind of like, come on, people. Our town's already not the best for driving, but please, please. The skeleton just don't damage, he didn't ever get to curse me, which is big. We're gonna fight this Witcher man, who is weak to fire, but I'm not running my staff, so I wouldn't be able to take advantage of that. If somebody's weak or strong against something, whenever it says they're innate, that means they'll take ×5 more or ×5 less damage. So Witcher man would be taking 1.5 times damage against any fire. Now he has a countdown to deal 9 fire damage and burn 2 of my dice, or he can deal up to 6 damage and restore health on that end. So he can just gradually wear me down through the power of nature. I really don't care about nature too much, but you go off, Witcher man. That puts it in a very bad way. I care very much about the ecology. I don't care much about you. Oh, that's rough to say, Cruzy. You can see there, that's the first time we've really seen countdowns past Sneezy. So, that will just stay at 10 for him for there on. But we'll just kind of legitimately 2-round him. I'm doing so much damage with my warrior abilities that it's actually not even funny. And just bulldoze over everybody. So the shop is selling. Ooh, another piece of equipment I can upgrade. Yes, please. I will upgrade the Toxic Ooze to deal more damage. And then I'll upgrade my Broadsword to deal more damage. And this is all ridiculous. All fine and dandy, all things considered. Now, you are selling an apple that destroys 10 HP, so I might as well be full health before fighting this cowboy. Now, what does he do? 3 dice. He has a 6 shooter, which deals 6 damage and can be used 3 times. So if he rolls all 6s, then he can deal upwards of 18 damage to me, almost half my health. Very dangerous. It's either that, or he can use his Countdown Midnight Charm to roll 2 6s. That's guaranteed 12 damage my way. Another very, very scary ability. So I want that to not happen as much as possible. Now what I'll probably do, honestly, though, is just hit him twice with a Crystal Sword. And then actually just kill him before he can do a single turn. Oh, this game is quite funny sometimes. Sometimes you just get builds that just immediately say you don't get to play the game. Granted, I am Warrior. I did have Fury. So he really did not get to play the game much there. Not the worst rolls, all things considered. Strano Beetle is gonna die really quickly, so I'm not even gonna mind what he does too much here. I mean, realistically, he can deal up to 8 damage with his battle axe and then lock my dice, but I'll get to those status effects when we get to them. For now, though, you die. Yeah, this Rougelike. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing the easiest character on the first, what's his face? Ooh, another Toxic Ooze, I don't need you. On the first episode of him, so this is the tutorial, basically. And I'm fighting the random boss of the run, which is Alfie. Alfie? I don't know. I swore I was gonna have, I wasn't gonna have a fight right here, but if you're gonna leave it right here, yeah, 56 HP, 5 dice, and she is basically the warrior to my warrior. She can block with some of her dice to add shield, she can deal damage with her own broadsword, but I have a broadsword plus, and then she can shield bash with her countdown of charge. So, yeah, warrior versus warrior. Quite frankly, though, I'm just gonna hit her really hard. I have 5 dice to work with and my combat rolls, so I think I can get away with a lot of nice damage, such as poison. I can hit you with boomerang, and that gives me fury, so I can hit you for 30 damage. And you literally die before you even get a turn. Boss! Smuck. Oh, jeez. Well, technically in the lore of Dicey Dungeons, you'd be able to win your heart's desire at the end of every game show. But, unfortunately, because our host is already watched, we lost. So, that would just be it for the run, and we could go on to the next episode for him. So, let's stick with the warrior, and let's see what episode 2 is for him. You get 2 battle axes, and all your equipment is upgraded. Awesome! Also, you're extremely cursed. Your new rules are you start with 2 upgraded battle axes for equipment. Everything you find is upgraded as such, but you're inflicted with curse at the start of every